Hey everyone, my name is Taylor Stephenson. I am a student meteorologist at the University of Oklahoma. Basically, what a meteorologist is someone who helps predict and forecast the weather. So that goes into the apps that you look at before you walk out the door to see what kind of clothes you need to put on. Meteorologists are very important in all aspects of life, and so I just want to tell you a little bit more about my desired career path. I will be graduating in May, so hopefully I can get into the TV broadcast world. If not, I hope to do some atmospheric researching about pollutants in major cities. So my career and job title, right now I'm just a student, but the career title would be meteorologist. If I go to TV, then it would be TV broadcast meteorologist. And if I go into research, then it would be an atmospheric researcher. So the day-to-day of a meteorologist, especially with TV, is that you go into the newsroom, whatever news station you watch at your house, that TV meteorologist, the person who does the weather, goes into the office, they sit down at their desk, and they write down the forecast from different forecast models. Forecast models are collected data that can be used to create your own forecast. So you take those forecast models and you make your own forecast for which you think the day will look like. You enter that data into a graphic system. That graphic system then processes that and puts out those nice, pretty graphics that you see on TV. In this example given here of me doing the weather for a winter weather forecast across Oklahoma. So that's just some data that was put on the Oklahoma map and just me talking about the current radar, which is showing snow across Oklahoma and what's to come later on that day. To talk more about the day-to-day applications of meteorology, I made a little video about why weather and meteorologists are important every day. Now, I know that I want to make this a little more fun because I'm young, I'm 22, might not be as young as you, but I still have a little bit of youth in these bones. So here's a video of me explaining how weather and meteorologists are important every day.
Made so you bagged him. I'm a savage. Classy, bougie, ratchet. Sassy, moody, nasty. Hacking, stupid. What's happening? What's happening? I'm a savage.
One thing that I did not mention in that TikTok that's really important in everyday life that is forecasted by meteorologists and is impacted by weather is air quality. Air quality and air quality index is the amount of pollutant or like the bad stuff in the air that affects your breathing and your health. So right now in Winston-Salem, it's about 12:45 a.m. on Saturday, December 5th, and that air quality is good. So it'd be great for you right now, if you were still awake, to go outside and run around, enjoy exercise, hang out with social distance, of course, with friends and family. But if you're in another place in the US, let's just say California right now, because they have really bad wildfires, all of that smoke in the air is not good for humans and living things to breathe. So the air quality index in California is probably very low. Air quality, again, is impacted by the pollutants in the air, which means that bigger cities are going to see worse air quality indexes, meaning that the air is harder to breathe or is not healthy for us to breathe. This also is impacted with and coincides with environmental racism. Environmental racism means that people of color are less likely to have cleaner water, cleaner air to survive in. Air quality is impacted by this because airports and landfills are generally closer to minority communities much more than the white communities. So that's just something to keep in mind, and that actually was the basis of the research I was going to conduct in Colorado pre-COVID-19. So hopefully I get the opportunity to go and study that and how air quality and pollutants disproportionately affect communities of color. So going back into a little bit of my personal life about how I actually decided that meteorology was the track for me. So When I was your age, sitting in the same seats, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be on Broadway. And my dad said, no, you are not. So I was like, okay, let me pick a more applicable, more day-to-day and more substantial job. So I was like, hey, I love clouds. And this is me as a fourth grader, just talking to myself. I love clouds. I love to travel. What deals with clouds and weather and travel? Meteorology. Well, if you're a meteorologist, you get to study the clouds and how they interact with the atmosphere and the earth. And if you're lucky enough, you get to travel around the world to study meteorology in different areas, different regions of the earth. So I was like, hey, let's do meteorology. And since the fourth grade, since I was 10, I was like, let's do meteorology. And I have not turned back. In 12 years, and in May, I will be getting my degree in meteorology. To be a meteorologist, you have to go through formal training of school. So you would need a bachelor's degree, which means you need 4 years in college of meteorological expertise and training and learning so that you can get the title of being a meteorologist. Now, I will say that nothing really comes easy in life, and definitely with meteorology, it's not the easiest path to go, but after you get the degree, it's very much worth it. So I'm gonna go back to my favorite science memory, which was in the fourth grade, when I told y'all that that's when I decided I wanted to be a meteorologist. So we did a unit on clouds. I love clouds. I love clouds. So I went to my teacher and I was like, oh my gosh, I love clouds. And she looked at me really crazy like, did this fourth grader just say she likes clouds? And I told her directly, I said to her face, can you make another lesson plan on clouds? I want to know more about clouds. She kind of just laughed it off and was like, okay, Taylor. And I'm still friends with her on Facebook, but that was the most memorable day about meteorology in my 3rd to 5th grade years. So to be very honest and transparent with you, one of the obstacles that I faced while on this science journey is being one of the only Black women and women of color in a room at a time during meteorology classes. There's only one other Black woman in my class, and we're the only 2 minority women. So it gets kind of difficult because I can't really relate to my classmates as much as I want to, which kind of puts me on the outside. So I really had to step out of my comfort zone to meet people and to interact with people who aren't like me, who never grew up like me, or experience things I've experienced because of race. So that's one of the obstacles I had, but I've overcome that. I've met really great people. Those people have helped me out with academics and social life within meteorology, and just have made me be a better person than I would have been as a freshman 18-year-old in 2017, the scared girl who came from Atlanta to Oklahoma with a big culture shock. So I would say that race was the biggest barrier that I had to deal with in STEM. A little bit of advice that I have for you guys is that there are so many more opportunities than just the let's be a doctor, let's be a nurse. You can be a nurse and doctor if you want to, but some people don't even think about meteorology as a career. Some people don't even know meteorologists in their lives because it's just that unknown, especially within communities of color. So I would advise y'all to just explore because there's so much in science, whether you want to go into the weather aspect or the medical aspect or chemistry, there's so much to explore. So I just advise y'all to be curious, stay curious, always ask questions, but I will, put my little flavor in there. I would suggest doing meteorology. It's very fun and it's a little bit different. You can always be that cool kid in the classroom. So if you're interested in doing meteorology, the average salary starting out for a broadcaster for meteorology is about $30,000 a year. So it's a little on the slim side, but the more experience you have, you can jump from market to market. Markets being areas of the country, so like Atlanta, New Orleans, Dallas. You can jump from market to market. The higher you go up with the more population, like the population densities of, say, Raleigh, North Carolina, or Columbia, South Carolina, or Atlanta, Nashville. Those are gonna pay you higher salaries. So you're gonna start off kind of low, but you can definitely build your way up over the next 5 years of your career. If you decide to go the research route, they pay you way more. I think the average starting salary is more like $40,000, $50,000. So you're gonna get a lot more just because you're doing more intense work, and research gets funded by the government sometimes. So they have some money that they can say to pay you. With TV and news and broadcast journalism, that just is a harder market to earn money in, just because they don't pay very well in general, not just meteorologists, but journalists and all of that. I just want to say thank y'all for letting me into your virtual classroom and learning about what I do on a daily basis and about the career path that I'm taking. I want to give a big shout out to Miss Tafari for letting me even do this video. I appreciate you reaching out to me and taking a chance on a student meteorologist. I hope that you all succeed in life. You're gonna do great. If you ever need me, I'll give you my contact information. You can always reach out to me if you have more questions about meteorology. Bye.